Welcome everybody that's coming into the room now. If you have any questions, please feel free to put a question in the Q&A. We'll be getting started with the training here at the top of the hour.
Hey, I just want to welcome David Hamilton. Hi, how are you doing? Just put anything you want in the chat box. Tell us what you do, whether you're a coach or a consultant. And we're going to be talking today about how to double your coaching or consulting business. So it's going to be really jam-packed, exciting. We've got so much material to go over. I'm totally excited. And I'm here with Marcus Aurelius Anderson. So Mike Edwards, just want to give a shout out. How are you doing? Just put anything you want in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you.
Welcome, everyone.
So we've got Mike Edwards, David Hamilton, Joe Nunciata on Facebook, and we're just showing up here. Mitchell of Nashville, Mike Edwards, Nashville. Love Nashville. I'm going to be coming to a conference there in September where I'm going to be speaking. So Mike, thanks as well. So we're going to be starting at the top of the hour. We're going to be going over the critical information you need about why most coaches and consultants fail and what specifically you need to be doing so that you can double your business this year and really ramp up your results, put more money in the bank, impact more people, get the life that you want, and really have a successful coaching and consulting business or practice and get it moving, because I want you to really get traction. It's time for everybody who's listening to make a bigger impact with their lives.
Absolutely. If you're on Zoom, feel free to drop some questions in there as well, or just say hi. Tell me what your name is, where you're from, and if you're a coach or a consultant, and we're happy to have you with us today. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to bring a lot of value, a lot of quality for everyone.
So just so you know, I'm JV Crum III. I'm here with Marcus Aurelius Anderson. And Marcus is going to hold down the Zoom fort, and I'm going to hold down the Facebook fort. And between us, we'll do our best to respond to any comments. We're going to have an opportunity today for you to ask questions, so it'll be question and answers. We're going to start at the top of the hour, but it's going to be just jam-packed because we really want to dig down and help you analyze what might be holding you back, why are you where you are, and why aren't you 2 times the size? That's really the question we're asking, and we're going to give you a pathway for how to get twice as big as you are or more in the next 12 months. So again, David Hamilton, want to shout out to you, and I know you're from Denver, so thank you so much for being here. So Marcus, do you have any comments about what we're going to be doing today? Because I'm totally stoked, and I know you are too.
Oh, this is fantastic. I wish that I would have been able to have this kind of training when I first started, to be able to just escalate from where I was and double, triple in the shortest amount of time between the impact that I can make and the impact I can make on myself monetarily. People talk about impact, but they don't really qualify it very much or quantify what they're trying to do. And by having a specific goal, it makes you much more likely to be able to achieve that goal. So by saying you want to help people, that's fine. But by saying that you want to increase your income, double your income, triple your income in the shortest amount of time as possible, having the knowledge that JV has, he can collapse your time and make you get there so much faster, which is going to help you reach much more people and change their lives faster as well. So this is a tremendous opportunity for everybody listening.
Okay, and compression of time is really what we're talking about. I want you to do in the next 6 to 12 months what most coaches and consultants might take 2 or 3 years to do, because that's going to position you to grow, because you're going to grow logarithmically. The more that you grow and get momentum going, you think about a spaceship leaving the Earth's orbit. So I grew up in Florida. I wasn't that far to go over to Cape Canaveral, now Cape Kennedy. And so I've seen a lot of rockets. And if you'll notice, you've seen them on television, most of that rocket is carrying the fuel to get them out of the Earth's orbit, to get them through that first 6 miles and the gravity. And once they get past that, most of the rocket that's headed to the moon is already been kicked out, and it's dropping to the ocean. And there's just a small amount of fuel that's necessary once they get momentum going. Your business, your coaching, your consulting, it's exactly the same way.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy too. It's like lifting a weight off the ground. The hardest part is just getting it moving. But once you're able to get it started, create that momentum, and you can power through to the next level, and exponentially, like you said, you build, build, build. You're able to help more people faster, make more impact. This is the ultimate win-win-win situation. And we'll be getting started at the top of the hour.
Yep, we're going to get started in just 2 minutes. But, one of the things I was, wanting you to talk about just for a moment is you have the book, The Gift of Adversity. And why don't you talk for a moment about what the gift of adversity is all about? Because a lot of times as coaches and consultants, we run into lots of roadblocks. We run into lots of challenges. And you've written a whole book about how adversity is actually something that's going to be your friend in a way, that it's actually going to help you get ahead.
Absolutely. My name is Marcus Aurelius Anderson. I'm a TEDx speaker. If you've seen my TEDx talk, it's called The Gift of Adversity, and I wrote a book called The Gift of Adversity as well. A background about me: in 2012, while preparing to deploy with the U.S. Army, I suffered a severe spinal injury that left me paralyzed from the neck down. I died twice on the operating table, and while they were able to save my life, they told me that I would never walk again. So that gave me a lot of time to really look at my life and look at the things that I hadn't accomplished and look at all the things that I regretted. So laying there in that bed for 3 months with the realization that I may never be able to walk again or change my life or do what I wanted to do really made me take a hard look at where I was. And when I got the opportunity, when I was able to miraculously recover, I started attacking my life with redoubled efforts, trying to make as much of an impact as I could, help change the lives of as many other people as I could. And adversity it's inevitable. It's always something you're going to run into, especially as a coach, as a consultant, as an entrepreneur, as an executive, as a CEO. So understanding that adversity is actually an opportunity, this gives you that chance to find out where your weak spot is, to shine a light on something that you can improve on. And lots of times it's that small amount, that 10% that you're not doing, that will help be propelled further and more quickly to that next milestone that you're trying to achieve.
I'm curious because we're going to talk more about this later, but you went from literally being paralyzed to being a martial artist, and not just a martial artist, but you have a black belt. What does that black belt mean to you, especially the fact that you had to go from paralysis to martial artist to having a black belt?
That black belt means more to me than any, college education that I could get, because it showed me that going from a place where I couldn't walk to being able to actually use my body, use the motor skills requisite to be able to get to that level where I had this expertise and this physical capacity, it means more to me than anything else I've ever been able to do. And that knowledge has been able to help me better as a coach, as a consultant, as an author, as a speaker, because those truths are universal. That idea of the consistency in the work, the foundation of the idea, the systems that you put into play every single day, and it reinforces that all the time. And that's what you have to do as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as an executive. You're constantly following the system, having faith in the process, and continuing forward with it. And our idea is to be able to get you guys a black belt as a coach or an executive so that you can get to that level and help more people more quickly.
Well, and this is for coaches and consultants. It's double your coaching or consulting business. And we're going to get started because we have so much we want to cover, and we only have a short period of time to do it. We hope you'll stay connected with us because we're really glad that you're here. So the double your coaching or consulting business, what I found is that so many coaches and consultants that I've talked to, that I've coached, they've been in the same, basic income, or it's a short range of income, but it's like they haven't gotten out of the Earth's orbit. They really haven't gotten a strong trajectory. So Marcus and I decided to put together this training today, and then we'll be telling you more about our High Performance Bootcamp later in the program, because we want to help you get going so that you get the traction and you break out of whatever the boundaries are, whatever the challenges, whatever the frustrations, whatever's holding you back. And so that you break through that, and we give you the exact steps. So today we're going to start, and I'm going to turn it over to Marcus. We're going to start with, what is the problem that most coaches and consultants have that really is at the core of what's going on with their business right now? It defines exactly the problem that's occurring, and it's why they aren't getting the traction. And then we're going to look at how does this affect you in terms of what kind of symptoms does it cause in your business, in you? And so I'm going to start with Marcus. I'll just turn it over to you.
Absolutely. So if you're a coach or you're a consultant and you already have a small practice established, that's fantastic. But what we want to do is we want to take you to the next level. And the problem that most people have in this area is that they're not making the money that they want in the time frame that they want. So making money is fantastic, but what we want to do is we want to help you make more money more efficiently, more quickly. And that's the entire idea of this program that we have. And again, JV, the Crum the Third is going to have the link for us thereafter. So not making the money that you want in the time frame that you want is the difficult part. As you mentioned before, trying to push through that, trying to get to that next level. And what happens is the amount of resistance that you have is going to be the same. So if you go through it slowly, it's going to be arduous. But what we want to do is we want to push you through that to that level as quickly as we possibly can so that you can get there making more money and helping more people more efficiently. Next, you're wanting to build your business on your back. You feel like you have the entire weight of the business pulling you down and it's stopping you from getting where you want to go. So when it's so arduous and laborious, it's hard for you to stay focused. It's hard for you to stay enthusiastic about that. And lots of times it's hard to have faith in what you're doing because you don't know if what you're doing is correct or if you're doing the right steps to get to the next level. Having JB Crum III, his knowledge, he's forgotten more about coaching than what I've already learned. So having his kind of expertise available to you, this is a tremendous opportunity, and that's why we're so excited about it. And it's a two-sided coin. Side one, you don't feel like you may be worthy or deserving of getting to that next milestone, or you don't know if you have the value to be worthy of the next price point that you're trying to get from people. So we're trying to limit those self-limiting beliefs, and we want to stop that, and we want to set you up to succeed. We want to give you the winning formula to push you forward with less effort to get there more efficiently and more quickly in the long run.
Okay, great. So I just want to review those. So there's 3 problems that are typically going on with people who are on who are not really breaking through where they want to be. And the first one is they just aren't making enough money. They aren't putting all the money in the bank that they really want to be putting. Then second, it's like there's so many problems that it's on their, like it's right there on their back. And they're feeling pulled down because it's about the business model. They haven't created the business model correctly. And as a result, they're just pulled down all the time because they're trading, frankly, dollars for an hour. So they really haven't set up their business very well. And then it's like a two-sided coin. On one side, part of them actually doesn't feel worthy and deserving. And on the other side, they don't think that what they're offering has as much value that would justify it being them charging 2 or 3 times more. And a lot of times that's because they don't have a good formula for figuring out their ROI. So they're just really guessing, well, what should I charge? What is it really worth? And then there's that fear that if you charge more, and this is a paradox, that if you charge more, nobody's going to show up because you've really got to charge just a little bit of money or you aren't going to have people who want to be there. So what is the result of these 3 problems? Well, first of all, most coaches and consultants are paying their bills month to month, and they're really just living from really almost like they were an employee, paycheck to paycheck, and they're never really getting ahead. And then they feel like they're constantly chasing clients, like they're really in the business, not of coaching and consulting, but chasing clients, almost with this internal attitude of begging people almost to be their clients. And it's like, that's what is the whole problem that they think their business has, that they don't have enough leads, that they have to chase the clients. And then what even compounds it is most of the time they don't have a good program, a good system set up so that they're going to retain their clients that they already have, or sell them, not just retain them at the current level, but sell them into a higher program and go, okay, you finished this piece. Now let's talk about what would come next so that I can take you to a higher place. And what happens? They feel overwhelmed. They just feel like they're really spun out, that their life is just, very thin and almost like they're drawn and quartered. I mean, sometimes, and I can remember when I was there where I felt, wow, I'm drawn and quartered like everything I'm doing is really just chasing clients. And I had to learn how to do that. And that's why I don't want you to stay in that situation. And then their health gets compromised because they're working so many hours and they're stressed, which does horrible things to your body. And they're so stressed that they actually aren't going out. And I can say that I've been guilty of this in the past, where it's midnight, and it's like, I'll raise my hand first. And then you go out and you get that pizza, right? Or you go to the Burger King or whatever it is. And so your health gets completely compromised. So these are some of the hurdles that most coaches and consultants have. And it's indicative of someone who's caught in a range, and they might have been making that same range. Maybe it's 50 to 100,000, 100 to 150. Maybe they haven't gotten through the 50,000. But a lot of times they're stuck in a range, and it's gone on for years. And now their mind begins to believe that that's really all that they have. And that's why Marcus and I put together, and we're going to tell you a lot more about this later, the High Performance Bootcamp. It's only for coaches and consultants, and it's only for coaches and consultants who really want to double their business. They want to make the changes that are necessary. And we're doing this by having discovery calls. We're not going to give you a link. You can't go sign up for it. There's only 12 spaces. We just literally launched it and just sold 2 people, bang, immediately. And I have more calls today. So if you're interested, we'll tell you more about it later, but I want to go ahead and give you the link so that you can sign up to have a discovery call with me, and we can discuss, is this a good fit? Is it right for you? Are you going to be able to get your what you're wanting, what you're needing, your goals met? And that link is consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. And, Marcus, maybe you can put that in the chat box for Zoom. It's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. And so Marcus is going to now talk about why now is the time to solve these problems. Because if you're going to live with these problems, my best guess and my best authority as a coach is that you're going to stay in the same position that you're in right now. So if you're not wanting to stay in that same position, let's talk about why right now is the time for you to make a new decision and break out and get the momentum and move forward and double your business.
Absolutely. And just like what JB said before, our health is so important because we take it for granted. It's something that we assume that we're always going to have, and that's what people do with time. They have this assumption that they're always going to have a lot of time to get things done, so they procrastinate and they put things off. But if you really want to get to the next level and you really want to reach these next goals and these next milestones that you have, the time to act is not tomorrow, it's right now. Act right now to try to make the change that you need. Your tomorrow is predicated on today, everything that you're doing right now. So by going through, and if you're like most people, you're going to push things off. When you were in college, you push the very last minute to get your paper done. But if you're doing that with your career, that means that you're compromising the entire time. That means that you're not giving the service that you need to your clients. That means that you're not providing enough for yourself or for your family. And honestly, you're not actualizing your potential as a coach, as an impactor, as a consultant, anything of that nature. So the time to act is now. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't kick it down and say, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And just like you said, there's limited spots on this training, so we want to make sure that you get in and get the opportunity now while it's available. Your future tomorrow is being shaped by what you do today. It's today and your decisions today that are going to shape what you do tomorrow, next week, next month, next quarter, and next year. And we want this entire year to be your opportunity to break through to that next level, to break through the stratosphere, to break through all of the hardship that you're facing currently. Get out of that limited mindset and push forward. People in business who make most money over time, they become rich and financially free. It's because they make these decisions to take actions at the exact moment that they have the information to do so, as opposed to thinking about it and saying, well, I may do that later. Because what happens is you get distracted by other things in life. You get distracted by the other things that run you down so that you don't have the emotional and the cognitive ability to make that decision. We want you to, instead of waiting, we want you to actually initiate and pull the trigger now. Now is what's going to shape your day from here on out. And how you shape up your business model determines your sales. not your leads. Everybody will lead you to believe that, oh, if I have enough leads, well, leads are fine, but it's the business model that's going to help you convert, that's going to help you close, that's going to help you get that new client, that's going to help you get that new person, that's going to help you push to the next level. And again, we're talking about making more money, but we're also talking about doing that ethically. We're talking about doing that by giving the best coaching that you can, by providing the best service that you can, by truly making the most impact that you can with the time that you have. So many people trade time for money. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to live in that kind of a mindset. We want you to move forward. So think of what you could do. Imagine the income that you have right now. Now imagine that you have twice that income. Imagine what you could pay off. Imagine what you could purchase. Imagine what you could, if it's a home, if it's a vehicle, if you could go on vacation, go to Rome, go to Italy, go to Greece. All these things that you could do if you doubled your income over the next 12 months. What if you tripled your income? Now think about that. That changes things a little bit, right? When you start flipping that switch in your mind, all of a sudden the possibilities open up. And that's what we want you to see, that this is an opportunity to be able to do that. And the faster that you make the decision, the faster you will be able to get there to that next milestone. And JV and I are really excited to be part of that, to help you with that.
So, here's what's interesting is there are a lot of approaches that coaches and consultants attempt. And there are many people who will sell you on each of these. So I want to discuss those so that you really have a good set of information about what are options and why some of these options actually don't work too well. So, when people are wanting to get more money in the bank, the first option they're told is, well, the real issue is you don't have enough leads. Now, here's the problem with that is, let's say that you did a marketing program to get leads. If your business model actually doesn't work, if it hasn't been put together correctly, you're never going to be able to execute completely and even execute on those leads, because the leads in this case are not the actual problem. The actual problem is your business model really doesn't work. It's not set up correctly. It's not designed to maximize the amount of money you make. It's not designed so that it'll be most efficient, so that you can spend less hours doing it, not more hours doing it, and so that you're always aimed at the right market with the right offer. That's about setting up your business model correctly. And most people really don't focus on that. They want to kind of jump into, okay, let's go get leads. Now, there are a lot of people who tell you, well, the answer is you need to do a launch or you need to create a product. But here's the problem of starting there. And what the problem is that you may create a product, but then it's not really designed so that it's actually the right product for your ideal market. It really isn't designed so that it's going to meet their needs because it hasn't been put together correctly. And then you have to go out and figure out how to sell it. Or let's say you put together an information product, but it's not designed with the right questions and answers, with the right accountability. It doesn't have a live component. I think from having purchased information products, how many people actually go through all those information products and actually apply and actually do the assignments and actually get the results. And it's practically no one. And some of the stats that I hear is only 2% of the people actually use the information product. So the result is you sell something and nobody really gets success. Almost everybody fails. And that's not a way that you can really build a great reputation or really build your business. Or let's just say you focus on writing a book. Well, once again, 90% of people don't even make it past page 18. They're not going to read the book. They're not going to apply it. They're not going to do the information. If you wrote the book as an adjunct to a great business model, and this is part of establishing your authority, it's one piece of establishing authority, but it's actually not a way that most people make money. So let's say that you try to figure it out by getting together with a group of peers. So you go, okay, I'm a coach. I'm making this kind of money. Most of the people I know are probably making the same amount of money. And 5 of us are going to get together. We're going to have a peer group and we're going to problem solve this. Well, what's the problem with that peer group of equals? Well, because nobody in that peer group has actually accomplished what it is that you want to go and accomplish. And so as a result, you're having nice conversations and you're reading articles and somebody says, oh, I heard this webinar, but it's almost, to be honest, the blind leading the blind, because nobody there has actually been to the journey that you want. They've never been to the glory land. And so you need somebody who can guide you there. And the same thing can happen if you join a mastermind, because most masterminds don't have coaching, they don't have training, they don't have real accountability, and you meet with a group of people and some great ideas come up. And then next month or 2 weeks from then, you meet again and some more great ideas come up. But there's no forward momentum. There's no actual outcome that everybody's working toward. And most of the times, without those components, the mastermind in and of itself is just generating some nice ideas, but it's really not creating forward momentum. And very seldom are people going to just double their business if they're in that kind of a mastermind. Or you could listen to motivational programs, and motivational programs are great. But what's missing from motivational programs? Motivational programs are all about you getting pumped up, but you're getting pumped up by having something from the outside that pumps you up. And it's kind of like when you go to a concert, it's all great, it's all wonderful, and the next day you're still back in your regular world. The only answer in terms of true motivation is that you've got to understand your big why inside. That's got to inform your business model. It's got to inform your life. And until you connect all of those from the internal piece and get really clear about what it means for you to be a high performer and how you can be a high performer, it's going to be very difficult to double your business this year. Next year, double it again. 3 years from now, double it again. And let's think, if you did that, you double it this year, you go from 1 to 2. Next year, you go from 2 to 4. The following year, you go from 4 to 8. In 3 years, your business could be 8 times the size it is now if you're focused on doubling your business each year. And if you're a coach or consultant, that's possible. But the motivation has to come from inside of you. So, Marcus, I just want you to be able to chime in here, because I think it's a really important area. And
Absolutely.
Maybe you could talk about what happens if you don't have enough leads, but you have the right marketing, and how that's actually the marketing itself, which so many people tout, that's the answer for coaches and consultants, how marketing is important, but it's really not the answer because it's starting at the wrong place.
Absolutely. And I'd like to revisit what you mentioned about motivation, because motivation is something everybody likes. It's like motivational junk food. It feels good for a minute, but it's fleeting. So you need to have that motivation to push you into action. You need that motivation to push you to actually find the discipline to do what you want, which is based on your why, which is exactly what JV was mentioning before. So let's say that you do have enough leads, or you have the right marketing, but that's not the real solution. If you don't have your business model fixed so it's designed to work with the right market, delivering a big solution to their biggest pain points or their biggest problems based upon your skill set. There's things that we're all good at. There's things that we may not be as good at. The idea is to be able to develop that skill set for the right market to deliver based on the leverage of fast leads. It doesn't matter how many leads you have to be able to convert. And because you'd quickly book up if you're making the amount of money that you want. You'd be overworking if you had all these leads if you weren't doing that. So the idea is to have a system in place to make it something that's functional, something that you can scale. So like you said, we're thinking about the 12 months right now initially, but we want you to think about the future, scaling up, and up. That's how you're going to get to that point where you're able to have more of that free time. Have more of that passive income, have that ability to make more impact with less time, and you're becoming so efficient. And that's exactly what this is all based on. Getting that freedom is what everybody wants. Everybody wants financial freedom, but they're usually kind of vague about it. They don't know how much money they want to make. They don't know how much they want to do with their business. With this, we're talking about something that is very detailed oriented. It's something that will push you to that next level, as opposed to just making an extra 10 or 20,000 this year. The idea is to double and triple that and continue scaling up as you go through.
Well, and something at the, another thing that I hear from a lot of people is, and I love the metaphysical world, is, well, it's just all about the law of attraction. And, if I go and look and I develop myself spiritually, that's what I really need to do. And the universe is just going to deliver everything. Well, if you want to put solid money in the bank, I hate to be the one who's going to like pop that balloon for you, but here's the deal. If you want to put money in the bank, here's how the law of attraction really works, because I've been studying it. I've been using it literally, I think, all my life. The law of attraction works on the vibration that's already in you. That's what's attracted to you. You're attracted to that vibrational level, and that vibrational level is attracted to you. That's what the law of attraction is. And the problem can be that until you get that business model, till you get clarity about where you're headed, what's the real value of what you deliver, and why should someone pay you X or Y or Z so that you've got total confidence about what you're delivering? What you're going to be doing is literally attracting the same garbage into your life that's there already. You're going to be attracting clients that aren't going to pay you any more money. You're going to be attracted to opportunities that can actually keep you stuck where you are, because they're not opportunities that move you up. They're just opportunities for going sideways, basically, but you're not really going forward. You're not creating a trajectory. And then some people just go, well, the real answer is I just have to work harder. Well, working harder is not the answer. Working till 9 or 10 at night was not the answer. It's not just working smarter, it's knowing what your business is about and knowing that you are clear about who your market is. You're clear about what you deliver. You're clear about the ROI that they get, the real value. You're clear about your pricing. You're clear about which kinds of clients you're best at working with and which kind of clients you actually don't want to work with, because not only you're not good with them, you may just not even like working with them. All those things need to be clarified, or you're just going to be working harder for no purpose whatsoever. And then there are people who go for the big enchilada. They go, okay, the real problem is I need an event. And they've never run an event, and they have no idea how much is involved with an event. And once again, if you're setting up an event, but you haven't taken those steps to really get your business set up correctly, have a plan for how you're moving forward for the next 12 months, the event can be a total catastrophe, because you're giving kind of a muddled message out there. And when you get to the event, you may not have even had the right kinds of people there. And that, Marcus, why don't you talk about what I think is one of the biggest myths is, well, really, I just need to go read some articles or something because I can actually do all of this myself.
That's a perfect point. I wanted to talk about that, because so many people think, well, I can do this myself. I can go out and I can look at, this article, or I can look at this book, or I can listen to what this person has to say. But the hard reality is, if that were the case and you were able to do it yourself already, you would probably already be doing that. If you really wanted to be able to get to that level, and if you really had all the systems, all the motivation, all the discipline, all the accountability, all the laser coaching, all the training to get you there, you would probably already be there. You probably wouldn't be thinking about doubling or tripling your income now, because hopefully you would be thinking about quadrupling your income exponentially if you were already at that level. So having this idea that, oh, well, I can do this myself, unfortunately, that's self-sabotage. It sets you up to fail in the future. And the idea is, this is a tremendous amount of ROI that you can get from what JV and what I have to offer, because we can give you the information that will save you time, that will save you heartache, that will save you headache. And as he was mentioning before, having the law of attraction is fine and having work ethic is fine. But if you cannot combine these ideals and have a system that is working, that has worked over and over again, that you can plug into what you already have, it's going to address the skill sets that you already have, and it's going to help you get to that next level. Again, I wish that I had this when I first started, because this would have saved me so much time, so much anguish. And again, people are always looking for that missing piece. Lots of times there's not a missing piece. You just have to actually put in the time, put in the correct work, as opposed to just working hard. If you're making $20 an hour, working 80 hours a week is not going to be the answer. The answer is to work smarter, like he said, but work smarter. And once you learn how to work smarter, work harder at that. And that's exactly what this program is designed to do.
Well, and that's why I want to go ahead and mention we're going to be telling you more about that in just a few minutes. The High Performance Bootcamp that Marcus and I are going to be doing, there are only 12 spaces. We've already begun selling into it. We've got more people signed up for discovery calls today, and that's what we want to let you know about. We're going to be running a boot camp. It's 6 weeks long. Only 12 people are allowed in it, coaches and consultants that have already got a practice going, but you're not getting the traction that you want. You're not getting the results. You're really ready to double your business. You want to do it in the next 12 months. That's what we're going to be setting you up to do. And we'll tell you more about that, but I want to go ahead and give you the link so that you can sign up if you're interested in having a discussion. We want to find out in the discovery call, is this boot camp going to give you what you want, what you need, help you get to the goals that you have? And here's the link. It's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. Again, that's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. And you can go ahead and set up for a short call with me, and we can discuss the boot camp, what you're wanting, and see, is it a good match? Because we want everybody who's in the boot camp it to be a right match for them, because you're going to be teaming up with each other so that you can all go through this program and everybody get their maximum results. So maybe now would be a great time for Marcus, for you to tell about all the different things that are included in the High Performance Bootcamp.
Absolutely, JV. This boot camp has been designed specifically for the problem that you have currently. And there's so much material in here. There's so much value in here. There's so much quality that's going to help you in your practice, and it's going to help you in everything else in your life as well. We're going to have 6 90-minute boot camp sessions with both JV and myself. Each session is going to include training. It's going to include hot seat laser coaching and Q&A. So as opposed to just giving you a lot of information and then not giving any kind of feedback, or not giving you any kind of capability, or not giving you any kind of coaching, the reason why JV is so sought out as a coach is because if you even have a small amount of time to talk to him on the phone, it's enlightening. He gives you so much information. He sees all the things that we don't see because he's already been there. He's way up here. He can see all the blind spots that we're not aware of in the process. And the idea is, by doing that, that's what's going to help save you a lot of time in the long run. The hot seat is going to be able to, it's a chance for you to basically come up and say, hey, here's what I'm having a problem with. What can I do? How can I get better at this? And you're going to have both of us there to be able to answer those questions and help you get to the next level much faster. We're also going to be having 15 minutes of guided audio meditation, conscious millionaire visualization, and empowerment, which if you know anything about JV, which you obviously do, you know that these are the things that he is legendary for. These are the things that really help separate him from just everybody else in the pack and doing what he's done. This is the reason why he was able to be so successful at such a young age, a millionaire at 25 years old. That's a phenomenal accomplishment. Again, we're also going to, everybody that's in here, we're going to have an accountability buddy. So as opposed to just going through it and saying, well, I feel really good about it, and then you turn everything off and you go back to your life and you don't work on it, by having that accountability buddy, that's what helps you stay motivated, and that's what helps you stay accountable. So that's why when they say, if you have a person that you want to, like when everybody has the New Year's resolution, they want to get a friend to go to the gym with them, because that keeps them accountable. So maybe if you don't feel like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know that your friend's going to be there knocking on the door saying, hey, we're going to the gym. And that accountability is key. Just having that accountability is going to help you a lot with being able to get to the next level. And then the goal setting. The goal setting is everything. If you only try to go for the things that you think that you can already get, you're not going to get where you need to go. You need to be able to have this sort of idea to be able to get much further than where you already think that you can get. And that's why we're saying 2 to 3 times the current amount of money that you're making now this year. If you can do that in 12 months, that is going to help you get to the much further than where you would have if you would have just waited around hoping that you could have done it on your own, like he was saying before. The productivity training that we do, this is what helps you get more results daily. This is going to be the step-by-step process, how to become more efficient, how to get the most out of the time that you have, how to leverage those areas so that the results that you get are going to be 2, 3, 5, 10 times the amount of time that you would have done also. We're also going to have a private Facebook group, and that's going to be led by me. And I was, as you know, I was paralyzed, and now I'm a martial artist. So the thing that actually helped me go from being paralyzed to walking again was my mindset. I was able to shift that mindset. And by seeing the kind of training that we offer, seeing the information, and seeing this is life-changing quality that we're offering you. So by getting to this point where you have this information at your disposal and you can actually put it into action, that's what's going to help open up your belief system, so that now 2 or 3 times the amount of money that you're making now, 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to look back and say, wow, that wasn't even a drop in the bucket compared to what you could have done. You're also going to get a digital copy of the best-selling Conscious Millionaire, Grow Your Business by Making a Difference by J.V. Crum. That is a phenomenal book. Just that book alone has so much material. It's just got so much tremendous information. And you also get a digital copy of my book, The Gift of Adversity, Overcoming Paralysis and Pain to Find Purpose. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to get beyond the hardships that you have right now, and we want you to find purpose and then serve with all that purpose that you can for everyone else, as well as being able to put more money in your bank account.
So I want to give you that link again, and it's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. That's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery to sign up for your own discovery call, so that we can determine, is this boot camp going to give you what you want? Is it going to give you what you need? Is it going to help you get to your goals? And is it a right fit for all of us? Because we want you to fit with the other 12 people who are going to be in the program. So why should you listen to us? You know, I want to tell you about Marcus, because the reason that I partnered up with him to create the High Performance Bootcamp is that I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's accomplished things that very few people have. I think of him as the paralysis to martial arts man. I'm going to have him talk just a little bit more about what he went through in the hospital, because the doctors told him when he was in ICU in that first 5 days, if you don't walk in the first 3 to 5 days, you're never going to walk again. You're going to be paralyzed from the neck down. This is what your life is probably going to be about. We actually don't even think you'll be able to walk in the next 3 to 5 days. And then he was just shuttled off like he was just going to be kind of a vegetable the rest of his life. And he decided that he was going to walk, that was not the life he wanted. And if he can do that, imagine what he can do coaching you to get ahead. He's the author of The Gift of Adversity. He's a TEDx speaker, and he's a very top mindset coach. So he helps clients realize when they're settling and what that settling is costing them, and then develop a vision of what's actually possible for them and how they can get from where they are right now to where they want to go. Marcus, could you just talk for a couple of minutes about that experience in the hospital? Because it wasn't a miracle, it was a mindset that moved you forward to being able to not just walk, but ultimately get a black belt in martial arts.
Absolutely, JV. The hardest part of that whole situation was I turned 40 years old, broke, divorced, bedridden, and paralyzed, wondering what I was going to do with my life. And it made me take a hard look at everything I had done up to that point. And it made me see that I had waited. I had compromised. I kept waiting for something else to happen. I kept waiting for a sign to tell me that this is the direction that I should go. I kept looking for something to tell me what to do. As opposed to taking action myself, I was just sort of meandering without any kind of direction because I didn't have purpose. There was a big difference between wasting your time and then not having any more time allowed. So being 40 years old and being paralyzed, it made me realize that now I may never have a chance to do all the things that I wanted to do. So that gave me a tremendous amount of perspective. So whenever I was able to finally recover, when I was able to shift my mindset, and when I was able to start walking again, I promised myself that I would never, ever take anything for granted. I would never hesitate again. I would never compromise again. And I would attack everything that I do in my life with as much intensity and passion as I possibly could, which is exactly why I'm the coach that I am today. JV was mentioning it before. If you were in a mastermind with a bunch of peers, they can't take you any higher than what they've already been. They can't give you anything they haven't accomplished before. The reason why JV and I are somebody that you should listen to is because we can take you to a depth that we've been before. We can take you way beyond where you've gone before. And that's the information that you need. That's what's separating you from being able to be successful now and being compromised, waiting around, hoping that something's going to change. You have to take action. You have to stop waiting, and you have to stop compromising. And by taking the actions that you can right now, that's what's going to help change not only your business, but your life, the life of your family, everybody that you touch is going to create abundance in them as well. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of this. We want you to win. We want you to go way above that. We want you to ask more. We want you to expect more. We don't want you to sit there and just wait and hope that something's going to get better, because hoping isn't going to change anything. Action is what makes everything happen. And by having these steps, by having this system in place, you can take all the action needed and get 10 times your results in the amount of time that we would normally take you 5 or 10 years to get. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I just honor you, Marcus. I mean, it's great being able to play with you, and I want all of you to be able to play with us if it's a good fit for you, because we really want you to go someplace you've never been. That's what a boot camp is all about. It is about you changing the reality of who you are and what's possible for you, and beginning to realize and execute on that realization that you can double your business. This year, you can double it next year, you can double it again 3 years from now. And 3 years from now, you could have a business that's 8 times what you have right now. So, Marcus, I'll just turn it back over to you.
Of course. And I know that everybody knows J.V. Crum III. He is a legend in this arena. He's a trailblazer. He's broken so many molds, and he's taken all of this, the stuff that you're learning right now, he's been taking it to another level for years, literally. Serial entrepreneur, made his first million at 25. That's a huge accomplishment in and of itself. He wrote a book, and it's #1 on Amazon, The Conscious Millionaire, but it wasn't just #1 in one category. It wasn't #1 in 2 categories, 34 categories. I didn't know there were 34 categories on Amazon, and he was #1 in all of those simultaneously. There are a lot of people that will become #1 for like a couple of minutes at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they'll take a screenshot and then that's it. But to be able to have the legitimate amount of success as an author, and imagine that the only reason that you can get that kind of success as an author is because you are writing something that changes people's lives. It changes the way that they think about themselves, about their business, about their impact on other people. And that's why Conscious Millionaire is what it is today. And I'm sure that you guys, everybody knows that he has a podcast, right? That podcast is tremendous. It was ranked in the top 13 from Inc. magazine last year. It is amazing. I had the honor of being on there, and just being on the conversation with him is something that will literally change your life, just listening to it, because he gets down to the fine point details, and he strains the best out of each person that comes onto his podcast. So by doing that, he delivers the most value, the most quality to anybody that's listening to what he has to say. And that's what separates him from everybody else that just sort of yammers on and on and on. He's the coach's coach. He's a mentor. He's the person that other coaches go to get better. They always say that you should have a coach. This is the person that you should be coming to get coaching. This is the person that you should be learning from. Again, he has done all these things for so long. He has seen all the developments. He has seen all the phases, and he will help you circumvent around all the obstacles that you're currently running into right now. And that's why he's phenomenal at what he does. He has 4 podcasts altogether. He has a graduate degree in law, business, psychology, and he's a licensed attorney. So any one of those would be pretty impressive. But when you consider all of those, I imagine all that knowledge that's dovetailed in all of those ubiquitous ideas that he can see that other people aren't able to see. And that's another one of the things that makes him really unique. He's got 9 years of training on multiple certifications in NLP and Ericksonian hypnosis. So as you know, hypnosis is important. NLP is very important because it helps establish those patterns, those mindsets, and it helps you get out of this scarcity mindset into this idea of abundance and being able to move forward. And the thing that I love the most about him, he's a founder of a nonprofit, Conscious World Foundation. This is what shows what somebody really believes. If you want to know what somebody believes, you observe their actions. And by putting this in motion, that shows him that he wants to give back, that he wants to contribute, that he wants to help, that he wants to provide for other people. The same thing that he's doing when they say that you cannot teach a man something that he already thinks that he knows. And JV has the heart of a teacher and the heart of a scholar. So he is constantly trying to learn, constantly trying to fill his cup, constantly trying to add to his own edification to make himself a better coach, a better teacher, a better speaker, a better person in general. And that's the kind of person that you want to learn from, as opposed to just saying the same stuff over and over again. He's constantly learning, constantly putting more knowledge. And the more that he can learn, the more that he can give you in the long run. So I'm so excited about this. Like I said, if you had the opportunity to do this, go to consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. We would love to get you onto a call to find out what your wants, your needs are, to make sure that this is a great fit for you, because we want you to succeed. We want you to go to that next level. We want you to have exponential growth, not just this year, but years to come. And this is a shortcut for you to get there, the shortest amount of time with the least amount of effort.
Well, I just want to pick up there, Marcus, and thank you for all those glowing statements. I really appreciate that. You know, on behalf of Marcus and myself, we would love to do a discovery call for you so that we can determine, you know, are your wants, are your needs, are your desires going to be met? And is this a good fit for you to be part of this boot camp? There's nothing out there like this boot camp. I know what most of the people in the coaching world are doing, and I've never seen anything like this, that in 6 weeks, we're going to redo your business model. Wherever it is, we're going to take it to a new level, and we're going to help you create a high profit business model, then put together a high profit plan. And all along for the entire 6 weeks, we're going to have you executing on the specific sections. Starting with the first week, we're going to have a ready-made survey you can send out to your group that's going to help you refine your business model, because the truth is you've got a hammer on that number one problem they have, but there's a special way you need to hammer on that, and we're going to teach that to you every morning. There's going to be a 15-minute audio that you can listen to. It's going to take you through 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of the Conscious Millionaire visualization, and then 5 minutes of empowerment designed to literally change the way you think about who you are, what's possible, and what you can accomplish in the next 12 months, so that your mind is realigning in a boot camp way to what's possible for you. So if you'd like to make an appointment, it's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. However, I want you to know right up front, we do have some qualifications, that there's some criteria. That first of all, if you take an appointment, we expect you to keep the appointment, because I have a limited number of appointments that I can do every week. And so if you take an appointment and you don't keep it, you literally kept a time away from somebody else who wants to move their coaching or consulting forward. We also have a pre-discovery questionnaire. So as soon as you set up your appointment, we're going to send you a link, and just takes you through a questionnaire. It will take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the top, because there's some thoughtful questions. It helps you to begin to think about where you're at and what you really want to accomplish. And then we'll be both reviewing that so that we've got a better idea about who you are and how you fit into being a good participant in the boot camp. And then I just ask you this: only apply if you're really committed to doubling your business in the next 12 months, because those are the people we want in, the people who've already bought the High Performance Bootcamp. That's what they're like. We want everybody in there with a positive view that they want to at least double their business in the next 12 months, and then we want to help you achieve that. So again, the link is consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. That's consciousmillionaire.com/discovery. I want to thank you for taking your time to be here today. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to speak with you personally, get to know you better, learn more about your coaching and consulting business, who you are, what's important to you, and why it is that you want to double your business. What's it going to mean to you? What's it going to mean to your clients? What's it going to mean to your family? And what's it going to mean to those people that you want to help with your world, to the contributions you want to make to causes, to nonprofits, to making this a better world? Because the more money you make, the truth is, more of an agent of change you can become. And one of the things I know about the people attracted to Conscious Millionaire, I never get on a call with anybody who doesn't have a good heart, who really wants to change the world. They want to make a difference, and they want to do it in a way that also gives them the profits, the money in the bank, the lifestyle that they want. The two go together. That is what Conscious Millionaire is about. Marcus, I just want to give you an opportunity to say what you'd like in closing today. And again, thank you for taking your time to show up to double your coaching or consulting business.
Absolutely, JV. Everything you said resonates for sure. And that's the thing too. Everybody wants to make impact. Everybody wants to make a change, but sometimes they don't know how to do it. Like they're working as hard as they possibly can and they've got this feverish idea, but they're still not making the kind of impact that they want to make. They still aren't being the agent of change that they would want to be or what they imagine. So by having this opportunity, by being able to get with a call with you or with myself to be able to try to find that, to get to that next level where you're able to make more of an impact on the people around you, on your world, this is a great way to do it. Just saying that you want to change somebody's life or change more people's lives is fine. But action is what's going to help you do that, and it's going to help you get there more quickly, as opposed to wallowing in this mediocre existence where you still don't know if this is how you're going to get there. So if you're committed and if you're ready to get to the next level, go to consciousmillionaire.com/discovery and book a call, and we'd love to talk to you soon.